mis amigos and possible amigas, my name is Taffrey16 and welcome to my review of SummerSlam 2018, which was surprisingly a great show. Like, I don't know, like, you never know what to expect from main roster pay-per-views, but this is probably the best SummerSlam since 2013. Was it better than 2013? I don't know if I go that far, but it was the best one since, and probably the best main roster pay-per-view since the Royal Rumble. The real Rumble, not the greatest Royal Rumble, but it was better than Mania. It was better than Mania. And it was a big card, about 13 matches. Let's just get into them. So there were 3 pre-show matches. Up first was Rusev and Lana versus Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. Vega and Almas went over in what was like a 7-minute match. Surprisingly, English did not get involved. There was a backstage segment with him. Rusev and Lana told him to stay backstage. He actually did this time. Right? He didn't get involved? I don't think so, no. The finish, though, was Vega rolled Lana up. And that was it. So Vega got the pin on Lana. By the way, the roll-up will become a theme on this pre-show. Up next for the Cruiserweight Championship, Cedric Alexander defends against Drew Gulak. Alexander ended up winning in a 10-minute match with, you guessed it, a roll-up. It was a good match for what it was. The crowd was mildly into it. I don't know why Cedric went over. I mean, what heel does he have left to beat? He's beaten all the heels. Leo Rush? I mean, he can't go over Leo Rush. If he's going to feud with Leo Rush, certainly Leo has to go over, right? Because he's beaten everybody. I mean, he's beat Tommy, I'm pretty sure. He's beaten Murphy. He's beat Gulak now. You can't turn. He's probably beaten Jack Gallagher, to my remembrance. I don't actually remember. That's why I'm saying probably. He can't face Ali because you can't turn Ali heel because Ali's the most over and genuine babyface they have. So I guess Rush is next. I mean, it was an alright match for what it was. I wish Gulak had gone over, though. This also kind of reasserts my belief that they might be having him break Neville's title reign because, you know, they're petty like that. For a final pre-show match, it was the Revival versus the B Team for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Good match. It didn't last that long either. The Revival were in control most of the match. Hit a Shatter Machine on Curtis Axel like a minute in the match. He wasn't legal, though. The B Team ended up winning with, you guessed it, a roll-up. Roll-ups are undefeated, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Dawson had, like, Dallas, I think, pinned for like good 5 seconds, but the ref was distracted with Wilder and Axel pushed Dawson into, or pushed Wilder into Dawson, which reversed the layup, so Dallas was able to get the, was it Axel? One of them was able to get the roll-up, so the B Team retained. I mean, yeah, the Revival did win most of the match, and the B Team are over now, but I just give the Revival the belts, man. You fucked them over so much since they got made. I know it's partially their fault. Well, it's not really their fault, but I mean, they were ready to get pushed right off the gate, and then one of them got hurt, and then they came back, and everyone got hurt. It's not anybody's fault. It's just bad luck. But just the B Team's fine, but I would much rather the Revival just hold the belts. I get the point. Maybe is that the B Team are eventually going to be the ones that drop it to the Office of Pain, I guess, but that does nothing for the Revival. Why can't you just AOP just beat the Revival? At least the Revival will get the belts. I don't know, man. To open up the main show, we had what was arguably the best wrestling match of the night. Dolph Ziggler defends the IC Championship against Seth Rollins. This 22-minute match started a bit slow. I think there was even one spot where Ziggler had Rollins in a headlock for what seemed like 2 or 3 minutes. But man, it really started to pick up, and it really just became an incredible match. Ziggler and Rollins are consistently 2 of the best wrestlers in the company, so I don't think that should really surprise anybody the more you think about it. The finish came when McIntyre was trying to get involved and distract Rollins because he was going for the curb stomp, I think, and then Ambrose hit the Dirty Deeds on McIntyre onto the floor because McIntyre had previously taken Ambrose out, which distracted Rollins. I think Ziggler hit the zigzag, but Rollins kicked out. I think so. And then Rollins got distracted by the Dirty Deeds by Ambrose, and Ziggler was behind him looking for a super kick, but Rollins turned around and super kicked Ziggler, hit the curb stomp, and somewhat surprisingly, Rollins got the pin, and Rollins is a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. The way he was standing behind him at the end of the match, it looked like maybe Ambrose was going to turn on Rollins. He didn't, though. He didn't do it yet. I wouldn't be surprised now that Rollins has the belt if Ambrose does it tomorrow. I didn't expect Rollins to win, but again, they don't necessarily have to turn Ambrose into like the Rumble because they could save this feud for Mania. They really could, but that gets a little more complicated now that Rollins has the belt. I don't know. Unless Ziggler wins it back tomorrow, because I imagine Ziggler will cash in his rematch tomorrow if you do want to do the turn of Ambrose immediately. I mean, you could do it either way. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm conflicted on this, but either way, it was a great match, just absolutely great match. Will Ambrose turn on Rollins? I guess we'll find out today, huh? Up next in the land of good match, disappointing finish, it was the Bludgeon Brothers defending the SmackDown tag titles against the New Day. Good match for what it was. It wasn't even 10 minutes, I don't think. The finish came where it looked like the New Day were gonna win. Rowan had been taken out, but he was out for like a good 2 minutes on the floor. Biggie hit the big ending on him on the floor, I think. And they had Harper set up for the midnight hour, but then Rowan came in and hit Xavier from behind with the hammer, causing a DQ. Bludgeon Brothers beat the crap out of him after the match to get heat. I didn't like this finish solely because I don't necessarily have a problem with the finish, like the heels taking the easy way out. I have a problem with this finish being used on the Bludgeon Brothers because the Bludgeon Brothers have not been booked as those kind of heels. They've been booked as the dominant monster heels who destroy everything and run from no one. They've been booked as those dominant monster heels. Like, I don't have anything against chicken shit tactics, but it seems like that would work that would be something that works so much more for someone like Sheamus and Cesaro. Like if Sheamus and Cesaro had done that finish, it'd be like, oh, okay, it works for them. But for the Bludgeon Brothers, it just doesn't. So obviously this feud will continue. This feud, it looks like a lot of hi Kitty. It looks like a lot of feuds will continue after SummerSlam, but New Day will probably get another match. But yeah, I mean, it was a good match for what it was. Don't drink that; it's not yours. It was a good match for what it was, but I didn't like this finish. Up next, Braun Strowman defended the Money in the Bank contract against Kevin Owens, kinda. It was a minute 50 squash match. Braun just beat him up. They took him to the outside. Owens hit a super kick. Braun no-sold it, chokeslammed him on the grate. The entrance grate, like at the end of the entrance ramp, where like the ramp connects to the padding and all that, and the floor outside the ring. Put him back in the ring. Running power slam, that's it. Braun wins in a minute 50. Not much to say about this, except poor Kevin. Up next, triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Carmella. This was a pretty good match. Got a good amount of time, like 15 minutes. The finish came where Becky had Carmella in to disarm her, but Charlotte came from behind, hit natural selection, and got the pin, which actually surprised me. I can't remember the last time Charlotte even used natural selection, much less pin someone with it. Like, she doesn't really use a pin finish that much anymore, but she used to use it all the time in NXT. I think she used that more in the figure eight, but now she uses the figure eight. So Charlotte is now a 6-time main roster women's champion, 7-time if you want to count the NXT women's championship. But if we're talking main, they called her a 7-time world champion, but women's champion. But if you're not counting the NXT thing, then it's 6-time. Quick edit, my mistake here. She is a 7-time world champion. I had completely forgotten about the Divas Championship. But after the match, her and Becky embraced like twice, and then, to the shock of me and the delight of the crowd, Becky turned heel. Kinda, we'll get to that in a second. Turned heel, beat the crap out of Charlotte, threw her over the announce table, and left to a standing ovation. The reason I say turned heel is because this got the biggest pop of the night, and Charlotte got booed. Charlotte got booed for winning, and she got booed after she was getting up after being beat up. The crowd did not sympathize with her at all, and they loved everything Becky did. And this is looking like it could become a weird situation. I think Bubba Ray Dudley made the point on Twitter. What is this becoming? Is Charlotte going to enter Roman Reigns territory, or is Becky entering Daniel Bryan territory? Is Charlotte going to be booed as a babyface? She just did. Is this going to happen consistently, though? Well, it seems like it's impossible to boo Becky Lynch. She's basically has the Daniel Bryan popularity in the women's division. She's the most popular woman they have. I mean, who's going to boo Becky Lynch? They're not going to do it. They didn't do it. That when she hit Charlotte in the face, it was the biggest pop of the entire night, except for maybe when something happened in the main event. And I'll get to that, but I just don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work. Who's going to boo Becky? I don't know, man. I mean, I suppose they could switch it somehow and make her the face and Charlotte the heel. I don't know how they're going to do that, but I trust SmackDown to book it more than Raw does, so I don't know, man. Or more than I do Raw, I should say. So, good match. I think this... A lot of people didn't like the finish, didn't like Charlotte going over. I think this was necessary for the story. I'm very intrigued in what this is going to be next. It's funny how something Charlotte and Becky just did is more interesting than anything Bailey and Sasha has done in the last 8 years. Last year, I should say. It's felt like 8 years, though. Up next for WWE Championship, Samoa Joe taking on AJ Styles. This match got a lot of time, and it was a great match. Great back and forth, which is to be expected. I mean, it's Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. It was better than Styles versus Nakamura at Mania, and was arguably better than any of the Styles Nakamura Mania matches. And this is coming from someone who I really do think AJ and Nakamura got better as it went along. I think every match they had got better, but this was arguably better than all of them. The finish came where Joe was actually going to go for the Muscle Buster, and I really thought if he was, I remember saying this to Haley, I'm like, if he's going to win, he's going to beat him with the Muscle Buster. AJ's not going to pass out. He's going to beat him with the Muscle Buster. He went for a Muscle Buster. AJ got out of it, but then Joe kicked him in the head, and he fell to the outside and slammed him face first in the steps, which actually busted AJ. And that will play into something in a second. So then Joe stands on top of the announce table and grabs a mic. Now before the match, he had grabbed a mic and looked over at AJ's wife Wendy, who was in the crowd with her little daughter holding her, and told her before the match that Daddy wasn't coming home. And then he gets on the mic. He's like, "Hey Wendy, doesn't look like Daddy's coming home tonight, but I'll be your new daddy." And what was some of the best heel shit I've seen all year not done by The Miz. And AJ got pissed. He tackled Joe through the barricade. He took a chair out and just started beating the fuck out of Joe with the chair. And then that caused a DQ, so Joe wins the match, but AJ retains. And this sets up perfectly for a Hell in a Cell match. Finally, a feud of build deserving of a Hell in a Cell match. Like, some of these feuds, it doesn't seem like they're blood feuds. It's like, oh, the pay-per-view's called Hell in a Cell, gotta be a Hell in a Cell match. But no, this is a blood feud now, and it's so deserving of a Hell in a Cell match. I'm also happy that even though I don't think Joe's gonna get the belt, I'm so happy that this feud's not over, because I feel like they can do so much more with it, and they will. I'm really happy that's just like a one-off pay-per-view feud. So after that, AJ went into the crowd and apologized to his wife, and again, the blood was a shoot, I'm pretty sure, and you can hear his little daughter say, "Daddy's bleeding," and fucking, oh man, it was good. It was really good, and he left for the crowd with them, and Joe got up and he was pissed because he realized he won, but he wasn't WWE champion. Beautifully done. This is an excellent feud to carry SmackDown going forward, and it just got better. Joe is, again, aside from The Miz and Paul Heyman, probably the best heel in the company. AJ is obviously just an incredible champion. And I do still hope Joe gets the belt, though. I don't think he will, because I'm pretty sure AJ's holding it to the Rumble. But I really hope he gets the belt. Even if he gets it for like a month and has to drop it back to AJ, just give Joe the belt. Up next in what was also arguably the best wrestling match of the night, it's probably between Joe, and AJ, and a Rollins Ziggler. It was Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Great back and forth match. It was completely to be what was expected of these two. Don't think they disappointed anybody. Fun fact, Bryan wore like these Seahawks colored gear, which I think was one of the gears that he was choosing between at Mania. Like, I remember him saying in like some kind of documentary going up to it that he was either going to wear the gear he actually wore or Seahawks gear. I think that was the same gear, or it was just like similar gear. So that's a little fun fact there. And the finish came when Maurice was in the crowd with their baby. It was a baby carriage. Nobody ever saw the actual baby, though. And Miz and Bryan were over there, and Bryan threw Miz into the barricade right in front of Maurice and rolled him back in the ring. Miz rolled out and went over to Maurice, and she handed something to him. Bryan then went to grab Miz, and Miz hit him right in the head, knocking him unconscious. Got the pin, 1, 2, 3, Miz wins. What Miz hit him with was, I believe, revealed. I don't know if we ever got a good look at it, but it was very obviously brass knuckles. The old William Regal finish. I absolutely loved it. Typical bastard heel shit from Miz. This is what needed to happen, because this feud obviously is not over, and they're going to build up more. Miz going over was the complete correct decision, and he did it in the complete correct way. Great match, and it was booked extremely well. Alright, so what you gotta realize is Joe and AJ went almost 23 minutes, and then Bryan and Miz went over 23 minutes. So with these last 4 matches, only one of them went over 10 minutes. Only one of these last 4 matches went over 10 minutes. Heck, only one of them went 10 seconds over 6 minutes. So, The next match was one of the most beautiful squashes I've ever seen in my life. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, but not just Finn Balor, Demon Finn Balor. That's right, I called it. He brought the paint back. The crowd was hyped to see the paint. It's the first time he's worn it all year. Last time he wore it was either December or November last year when he faced AJ in an impromptu match at TLC. When Bray got mono, which of course saved us from seeing Bray and Drag versus Pumpkin Balor. Thank God for that. Instead, we got an awesome Finn AJ match, which Finn went over clean, and then lost 6 nights later, clean to Kane on Raw in 4 minutes. Let's not talk about that. But Finn was the paint. It was a perfect squash match. Corbin was terrified of the paint. The paint looked awesome, by the way. It was personally the best incarnation of the paint I've ever seen. He's done it a bunch of different ways. It's never looked cooler than how it looked then, though, in my opinion. It looked incredible. And Balor just beat him up for a minute and a half, hit the finish, and won. Corbin did not get one offensive move. At least Kevin got a super kick. He got no sell, but at least he got a super kick in. Corbin got nothing. He did not hit anything. Balor just beat him up, pinned him, boom. Now, I don't want to get overexcited and say they may have plans for Balor. I freaking hope they do, man, because ever since that Kane burial I was just telling you about, they've had nothing for him. Absolutely nothing for him. He had an icy title feud with Seth, in which he should have gotten the belt but never did. They've just done nothing. They've done nothing with him. And, God damn it, just please do something with him. The reason I think they could do something with him is because, one, that squash, and two, they do look at Corbin as a decently important person, because, I mean, this whole Constable gimmick, he's on TV a lot, like, all the time now. They give him a lot of TV time, which shows me that they see him as someone that they will use in a decent spot in the future. And having Balor just murder that guy. Corbin didn't even get a chance to get out of his Constable gear. He just got in there and got murked. Again, not one offensive move. It was a minute 35 seconds. Finn just drop kicked him a bunch of times. The fucking double stomp. Boom, that's it. Like, murdered him. So I really hope they have plans for Balor. I'm not going to have any faith in it because of how they've booked him this entire year. But please, just if you want to have Rollins lose the belt tonight on Raw, because I'm guessing Ziggler will get his rematch tonight, and just Rollins feuds with Ambrose, and then put Finn with Ziggler. Like, come on, man, just give him something, please. I have cautious optimism that they will, but I don't know. Up next in a 11-minute match, it was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship. This was basically used to get either Jeff time off, or Nakamura out of this feud, or both. Nakamura's been third wheeling this Hardy-Orton feud, which has been awesome, but it hasn't been awesome for Shinsuke because he's the United States Champion. He's third wheeling. Jesus. So Jeff Hardy, like a little while ago, did an interview. He said, "I'm not even gonna do the Swanton as much anymore because I'm 40 years old and it hurts." Also, Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke gets knocked out of the ring either after Twist of Fate or whatever, and he's unconscious on the apron. And Hardy goes on the top rope, stands on a ring post, goes for a swanton on the apron. Shinsuke moves, and Jeff lands back first right on the apron. What the hell, Jeff? You're 40. Good God. And Shinsuke rolls him back in a ring, hits the Kinshasa, beats him clean, which I was happy to see because Nakamura needs a win like that after he's been third wheel in this feud. Orton did not get involved in the match, weirdly enough. Nakamura won, and then Orton comes down to the ring. His music hits, he's coming down to the ring, and then he's about to hit the ring, and then he turns around and walks away. And he said in the backstage interviews because he's going to do it on his terms. So, could this be true that Orton's going to get suspended, or they're going to take him off TV for a bit because of the whole sexual assault thing? And because it seemed like when he came out, the crowd was just uncomfortable. Like, there was no reaction to him, because I don't know if it's that they didn't care, since they didn't really know how to react to him. Because the crowd likes heel Orton, but at the same time, it's like, dude, what the fuck? You know, like, what are you doing, Randy? You know, so they didn't really know how to. They didn't react because I don't know if they knew how to. I don't know. So is Hardy getting written off TV, and maybe they'll take Orton off TV, and then they'll bring him back at the same time and continue this feud? I don't know what Nakamura's going to do now, but it's nothing including this feud. Maybe Nakamura will feud with Orton now, and it'll be like a heel versus tweener thing, Nakamura being the tweener. and then Hardy will return then and cost Orton the belt. And then we continue to feud. Then Nakamura does something else. I don't know, but this match was what it needed to be. Good win to put Shinsuke over. Maybe this gets Jeff time off. I don't know. Guess we'll find out on Tuesday. Back at it again with another squash match. Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. This match was 4 minutes and it was just an ass kicking. Again, I don't think, much like Corbin, I don't think Alexa got a single offensive move. She just tried to avoid Rousey for a little bit, and then Rousey kicked her ass and stretched her arm out and put her in the arm bar and won. Natty was ringside. The Bella Twins came out to celebrate. Bella Twins got booed as soon as they got in the ring. It's actually rumored that they're going to do Ronda and Nikki Bella in the main event of Evolution. Dear God, why? I don't have any problem with Ronda being the main event. I expected her to be, but Nikki Bella, she can't fucking wrestle. Like, I'm sorry, okay? I have nothing personal against Nikki. I really do think she's passionate about wrestling. She wouldn't have fought for a year to come back after career-threatening neck surgery if she didn't care. And I do think she's a lot better than Brie. And I do think she did get better, but she still can't fucking hold some of these people's jockstrap. She can't hold Charlotte's jockstrap. She can't hold Bayley's jockstrap. She can't hold Sasha, Becky, Ember, Asuka, any of these people's jock. Natalia. She arguably can't even hold Rousey's jock. And Rousey's had 4 matches. Like, Rousey has had, like, Rousey's first match. I was more impressed with Rousey in that match than I've ever been with Nikki Bella in any match. So if that happens, fuck that, because why Nikki? And it should not be her. But this squash too, I'm conflicted on, because like Alexa, her 3 title reigns combined to last 398 days. And she just gets destroyed in 4 minutes when she's been dominating the women's division for over like a year and a half. It's like, what does that say about the rest of the women's division? Who's Rousey going to drop it to? Who can beat Rousey now? Oh, a fellow MMA person, Shayna Baszler. I would rather Shayna in Rousey main event fucking Evolution than Nikki Bella. It's like, oh, Shayna and Rousey? Well, the alternative's Nikki Bella. Alright, let's roll. It's fine then. I guess Shayna will be the one to eventually take it off her. I mean, after the Becky heel turn, I guess we're not doing a 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen thing Survivor Series. So, fuck it. Just put Shayna with her. Shayna's gonna get called up anyway. I don't know, man. But who can beat Ronda now? Probably nobody. For a long time. I mean, it's not like she's gonna drop the belt in 3 months. She's probably gonna hold that bitch at least a year. Main event time, and this was brilliant, and I'm gonna tell you why. Brock Lesnar defends the Universal Championship against, what's his name? Roman Reigns, the big dog. So the match is about to start, and then a bronze music hits. He comes to the ring, he gets a mic, and he says, fuck everybody who does the briefcase like this. I'm not a pussy. I'm gonna cash into y'all's face. So whoever wins, I'm sitting here ringside. Whoever wins this match, I'm cashing in as soon as it's over. Boom. So they have the match. It's Roman hits a bunch of spears and Superman punches right at the beginning. Brock locks in the guillotine, and then they just kind of lay, and then Roman gets out of it, and they kind of lay there for a little bit. Eventually, maybe like 3 minutes in, Brock throws Roman into Strowman, knocks Strowman over. As Strowman's getting up, Brock hits him with an F5, then gets a chair and beats the crap out of him, which isn't a DQ because Strowman's not in the match. And then he takes the briefcase and yeets it all the way up the ramp. Actually breaks a panel on top of the ramp and on the stage, and then Strowman's out. Brock gets back in a ring. Roman hits another spear. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Roman Reigns, new Universal Champion. Brock Lesnar's 504-day reign of terror is over. The disappointing part was Strowman didn't cash in because his briefcase had been yeeted and he got beat up by Lesnar. So they just kind of cut off Roman's celebration. That was it. It wasn't really that long of a celebration. He got like 45 seconds celebration. They just cut it. I don't have a problem with this because A, I think Strowman's cashing in tonight, and B, at least Lesnar doesn't have the belt. I mean, their goal with this, and they succeeded. Their goal in this was succeeded. Their goal was, let's make you hate Brock Lesnar so bad, let's make you want to have the belt off him so bad that you won't have a problem with Roman Reigns being the one to take it. And you know what, Daddy B? You did it. I was happy that Roman Reigns took it. There you go. I was happy that Roman Reigns took it because at least somebody did. But the reason this was brilliant is because they knew that Strowman was going to cash in. Obviously, they booked it. But the crowd didn't know that. And the crowd thought he was going to cash in. They sent Strowman out there to keep the crowd in the building. They sent him out there so the crowd wouldn't get restless and try to hijack the show. There was a beach ball, but that didn't last very long. So it wouldn't hijack the show. And so the crowd wouldn't yet beat the traffic, and so the crowd wouldn't leave because they thought they were getting a cash in after. They didn't, but they thought they were, so they stayed, and it was brilliant. GG, Vince. It was absolutely brilliant. And you know what? I guess Lesnar's going away for a while. Is he supposed to be on Raw tonight? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he'll beat up Roman, and that's how Strowman will cash in. But I think Strowman's cashing in tonight. But JJ Roman, you got your big red belt. Now maybe we can actually bring it back to relevancy since it's actually going to be on TV every week. Hooray! Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for my review of SummerSlam 2018. Again, great show. I thought it was the best SummerSlam since 2013. A couple of things I didn't like. I didn't like that Gulak didn't go over. I didn't like that the Rival didn't go over. I didn't like that finish in Tag Match for the Bludgeon Brothers. I kind of didn't like how Bliss got squashed. Everything else was pretty good. Everything else was pretty good. I was pretty okay with everything else. Yeah, I'd say so. So great show. Great show. Will there be a better pay-per-view this year? Wouldn't be surprised if there's not, just seeing how these pay-per-views have gone, but hopefully Hell in a Cell will be good. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it and that's when you'll see me next, for predictions and review of Hell in a Cell. But that's going to do it for this episode of me reviewing shit this episode. Oh, I almost forgot about the predictions. So, Haley beat me out this time. I beat her at TakeOver, but she beat me here. Haley got 9 out of 13 matches right. I got 8. So close, yet so far. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Our predictions. I'll be doing it for the result of predictions. I'll do it for my review of SummerSlam. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'll see you guys back with Hell in the Cell. But that'll do it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to press the like button. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Not everybody's like everything. Press the dislike button if you want to. But if you don't think I'm a complete bastard, stick around for what we got going in the future on the channel, you can be sure to press the subscribe button. If you want to see what's going to be posted daily on the channel, you can check the link in the description for the blog on warriors.com. If you want to check out my Twitch, where I stream every single day, 24-hour stream on Wednesday to celebrate 365 days in a row of streaming. The link to that is in the description, as well as links to my Twitter and my Patreon if you want to support me. That being said, my name is Stafford Christine. This has been my review of SummerSlam 2018. Great show. See you guys next time. Bye.